Okay? But in 20 years, I've had 2 cars that I couldn't figure out. Everything else, no matter if it was there a couple months, we eventually figured it out.
What was the other one?
The other one was it was a Jeep. It was a Jeep that kept getting 351, 352. Their ignition coil something codes. They normally show up because the cam and crank sensor sync gets screwed up. We did not figure out what was causing those codes. We tried everything. We even took the wiring harness, the entire wiring harness, and went through like every inch of the harness. I mean, I have no, to this day, I have no idea. Anyway.
What size motor?
So what?
What size motor did it
Was the, I think it was the Street 6, if I remember. I could be wrong, this was a long time ago.
It was
Yeah.
an old Jeep, it was an old Jeep.
It was a Jeep Wrangler. Maybe it was a 4. I don't remember what size motor was in it. It was a Jeep Wrangler. I can't remember exactly what size motor was in it. I had no idea what ended up happening to that. Well, obviously, that customer never came back at that point.
You've seen the water pump get slacking on prices like that. The water pump gets slacked for every time the belt dog would run the call because it would get out of sync with the water pump.
This one had a chain and it was a freaking motor that was only like a year old. And I actually scoped to see if I could see any difference in the hand crank signals, like on and off gas. Could not figure it out. Anyway, back to what I was going over is scan tools. There's some awesome scan tools out there. So this one right here is the eScan. Does anybody have an eScan? Nope. This is my second favorite scan tool. Literally, it's number 2 on my list of scan tools. Autel is number 1 on my list because bang for your buck, Autel is freaking amazing on what you can do with that thing on the OEM side for all the different manufacturers. I love the Autel. And my number 2 is the eScan. My number 3 is the VAGCOM because we did tons of Volkswagen and Audi. So, really, these are the 2 scanners that I have right now still. Even after selling my shop, I have an Autel and I have an eScan.
So that one came from
Why do,
if it's a little handheld.
why do I like the eScan? Yeah, well, there's 3 different versions of it actually.
Okay.
That's,
So,
I'm sorry, is that the scanner or is that the transmitter?
That's the scanner.
Wow.
That's everything. Big. Plug it into your computer.
Oh, was it my laptop?
Yep, goes into a laptop.
Oh, cool.
Okay. So why do I like this scanner so much? This scanner has absolutely no OEM capabilities. It is a strictly OBD2 scanner. Why is it so amazing? I don't know. And you suspect you have a mass airflow sensor problem. What do you do to test it and how long does it take you to figure it out?
Usually try to go,
Find a cliff to drive it off.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to think of, the test that you did, when you load the motor.
Engine
you take
load.
the,
Engine load?
Yeah.
Volume?
Yeah, volumetric efficiency test.
Okay. How long does it take you to do it?
About 15, 20 minutes.
About 15, 20 minutes. Same thing you do?
Yeah, I check the engine load or calculated load. If it doesn't look right, first thing I do is clean the airflow sensor and drive it again.
Okay. Still,
It takes a few
still
minutes.
doesn't look right?
Yeah.
Still doesn't look right to work at that point. What do you do next?
I check the exhaust.
If cleaning it doesn't fix your problem, how do you condemn the mass airflow sensor?
Yes, at that point, I start looking at fuel terms. Try to identify when
So, the correct way to test a mass airflow sensor is volumetric efficiency. That is the only correct way to test a mass airflow sensor, to actually condemn a mass airflow sensor. Now, is that how we all do it? No, I think that, honestly, I think that we have gotten, as technicians, we get a gut feeling. Well, I see that, it kind of acts in this way, I think it's a mass airflow sensor, right?
Straight back to the
Maybe
book.
look at the grams per
Mom,
second,
sit
you
on
know, I
study.
think it's a mass airflow sensor, wrong with my gut feeling, right? I think that's the reality of how we generally test mass airflow sensors. The true test is volumetric efficiency. Now you can get a volumetric efficiency calculator, take readings under different loads. Volumetric efficiency has to be done at wide open throttle. So you have to wide open throttle it, take your measurements at wide open throttle, and then you can do a volumetric efficiency test to tell you if you have a bad mass airflow sensor. This scanner has a volumetric efficiency test built into it. I can go take this car, plug this in, drive it 30 seconds at wide open throttle, and it has a bad mass airflow sensor. Order it. We're done. We are done. It is good or it is bad, and I am moving on. It has catalytic converter tests, which don't work on every single car, but some cars they work on, and they will do, what is it, oxygen retention test, I can't remember what they call it, but it's basically a test that the catalytic converter can retain storage, oxygen storage capabilities of the catalytic converters, which is the best test that you can actually do to tell if you have a bad catalytic converter over everything else, because we can't actually test catalytic converters like the computer tests it to turn on the light. So we do an oxygen storage test. That is the best test that we can do. The reality of it is if it has a check engine light, it needs a catalytic converter, both oxygen sensors, and you better make sure it doesn't have a reflash. Or if you do an oxygen storage test and it fails it, it definitely needs a catalytic converter. If you do it and it passes it, you still need a catalytic converter, because it really depends upon what the little dude in the dash cares about, right? It has oxygen sensor test built into it. It has, what else? It has, I'm not sure on that one. I haven't played with the latest update yet. The other thing that I think the latest update has, and I have to make sure of this, I haven't played with the latest update yet. I think the latest update, this is actually a picture off of an IDS, but I think the latest update might allow compression testing, relative compression testing, just by cranking the engine and having it hooked up. I'm not 100% sure yet. I think that they added that capability. I've got to play with it and find out for sure. It's got amazing Mode 6 capability. It'll, you set it up, it'll automatically refresh Mode 6. It'll list out all the Mode 6s, what they are, the minimum, the maximum, what value you're getting. And it has a whole bunch of other. It has fuel trim testing, where it'll map out your fuel trim. If you go drive it under this load, this RPM, this is what your total fuel trims were. You know, it's good here, kind of bad there, really bad there. It has amazing capabilities of just built-in tests that all you gotta do is go drive this car to help you diagnose it. And it's cheap. I think the cheapest version's around $700. I think the most expensive version's around $1,100 to $1,200.
Oh,
For
cool.
ScanTool, it's relatively cheap too. And it's got some awesome capabilities. To be honest with you, just the mass airflow capability, if you sold 2 mass airflows, it probably pays for itself. So that is an awesome one. I already talked about the Autel. How about you guys? What scanners do you guys have that you really like? You have, what of yours? You got 4, I think you said. Which one do you like the most?
Autel. I have to do a version.
Your Autel? Okay. The Autel. How about you guys? Autel. Anybody else have something other than the Autel that we're already talking about that you really like? That you're like, I love this thing.
The Snap-on, I like it.
Which one? Zeus, Varus, Modus?
Very,
Varus? Did you pay for it? What?
pretty high.
Did you pay for it or your shop paid for it?
Shop
Yeah, trust me, if you're paying for the Snap-on one, you don't like it that much.
Shit.
Now don't get me wrong, I owned the Zeus. I owned the freaking $20,000 Zeus. Why? Why did I own the $20,000 Zeus? Because sometimes my Autel didn't work. There's stuff that it didn't do. There's stuff that my Snap-on didn't do. I did everything. I worked on everything. So my capabilities by having all these different scan tools were a lot greater. Do I think that anybody should go and buy the Snap-on scan tool if that's the only scan tool they have? No! Absolutely not.
You get a lot more for your money with Autel.
Yeah. I think bang for your buck, you have better options.
You can't.
Now, if you're looking for more than one scan tool, should Snap-on be in your arsenal? Yeah, I think it has a place. There was stuff that the Autel, the one that comes to mind is tire pressure sensor systems. There were cars that I couldn't do tire pressure sensor monitor, we learned stuff with the Autel that I could do with the Snap-on. So they all have their different capabilities. I am going to stop there right now, and let's take our break, and we'll continue after our break. Good stopping.